Live from the Las Vegas Strip studio in downtown Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Bettor Center Live. I'm your host, Brad Stein. You can watch us daily during the week, 9 a.m. PST. On Saturdays, we do it a little bit earlier. It's hosted by Louis Diamond. We do it 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here on Sunday, it's 8 a.m. PST. 3 teams up, 3 teams down. And now we move to the next, still in the wild card weekend here. Sunday, beautiful day. Little basic arithmetic for you. We had 4 pro handicappers with us today here to make us a little bit of money on bettorcenter.com, on YouTube at Louis Diamond, and on a Facebook. We had 4. 1 dropped out because his computer crapped out, forgot to charge it. So that brings us to 3. That's just basic arithmetic for my son, the 5-year-old boy. Well, anyways, we're ready to get going and talk a little football, maybe a little college basketball. We'll sprinkle in the mix. Let's introduce those 3 guys to the show right now. Our first pro handicapper comes all the way from Gilbert, Arizona, originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. He has red hair. He's our red gun, and he's been really hot with the bookie busters. Welcome to the show, Tony Gulledge.
Hey, what's going on, Brad? That is Surprise, Arizona, okay? Get that right. I'm on the west side, Gilbert's to the south. And the bookie busters took a dive yesterday. I had the Seahawks, man. It was brutally awful. DOA, dead on arrival. So we're at 29, 20 wins and 9 losses. But I do have a bookie buster today to get back. And thanks for reminding me, Brad. Thanks. Appreciate that.
You are very welcome. I said Gilbert because you kind of remind me. Remember Poindexter from Revenge of the Nerds? Gilbert Lewis Poindexter. So it kind of just figures Arizona. I gave you the credit with the red hair. Take it as a compliment. That's another one of your distant cousins. All right, our next guy comes all the way from Wisconsin. He loves Swiss cheese and the stinking Packers. His name is Mr. Chumly. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome, Brad. I'm going to be honest. I had my first losing show yesterday. I went 2-3 with my picks, but I did hit the best basketball bet, Oklahoma, and we bounced back today. I have 2 bigger plays on the football games, 1 smaller play, and I got 3 college hoops winners for you guys. So we'll bounce back. Looking forward to being on again. Thanks, Brad.
Yes, good luck to you. Hopefully you do a little bit better today. And our other guy comes from, I'm going to assume, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, wearing the Phillies hat, loves the Eagles. Eddie J, welcome to the show.
Hey, Brad, good to see you, bud. Yeah, the Eagles, I'm looking forward to that 6th draft pick and wondering who our quarterback's going to be. So I'm already in the off-season plans with the Eagles. Hopefully the Phillies can do better than 500. They've been hovering around there the last 3 or 4 years, though.
All right, gentlemen, let's tackle our 3 games of the Wild Card Sunday. We had only one real upset yesterday, or I don't think it was an upset because I expected the Rams to beat the Seahawks. Many of us did because that seems like that's Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks kryptonite. A really good pass rush, a really good defense. And once again, they smothered the Seahawks who really didn't show up. But we're going to get into our game number 1 here. It's the Baltimore Ravens at the Tennessee Titans. We have a road dog here. Ravens open up -4.5, currently at -3.5, so we see a little movement with the over-under, 55, currently at 54. Eddie J, since I haven't seen you in such a long time, we're going to let you start.
Well, that's good, Brad. It's a 5-star play for me here today. This is the way I'm breaking it down. Might be against the grain a little bit, but Tennessee should be favored in this ball game. They should be a 3-point home favorite. They've beat the Ravens last year in the playoffs. We all know that. They beat them in the regular season this year. We know that. Lamar struggled in the playoff. We know that. And the Titans with a 2,000-yard rusher clicking on all cylinders. How are they not a 3-point favorite? So besides the fact, I think last year was the Titans' little Cinderella run. This year, the Ravens get a little limelight. I don't see Lamar going 0-3. That 3.5 is so enticing. The books are just basically putting everybody on one side. We're coming into a 4th game where all 3 dogs have hit, so a favorite's knocking on the door. And I'm going money line because I don't want to get stuck with no 3-point game or anything. But 5-star, I'm confident in it. Ravens win this ball game. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be fun to watch. But I'm going to go Ravens. That's what I gave out today, 5-unit play. Just a FYI on the over-under. I know Louis on the over. It looks pretty good on the over, but we're coming off, again, 3 straight overs. Vegas likes to mix a little under in there every now and then. These 2 teams, I bet the Ravens over a lot the last 4 or 5 games, and they were set at 44 and 45-point totals. Their drives are very time-consuming. Titans are going to run the ball. This could be like a 23-20 Ravens win, 24-20, something like that. So be careful with the over, but Ravens 5-star play for me.
Isn't it just interesting that Lamar Jackson, when he's the quarterback in the playoffs for the Ravens, they average under 15 points per game, but in the regular season, they're right around 30. That's just a little fact. But we'll see what happens, Eddie, because the Ravens certainly can score, and they're due for a win. We'll see. Lamar Jackson, this is, I wouldn't say a legacy game, a little bit too early for that, but this is a pretty big game to change the narrative of his early, brief career here in the National Football League. We're going to move to Chumly, because I know you want some Titans action, Chumly. I can see it on that Swiss cheese head of yours.
No, Eddie was pretty much spot on. I saw this line open up at 4, and Vegas is just trying to get you to come in and take that 4 points at home. I'm not doing it. Lamar's been playing better than any quarterback except for Rodgers. Their defense has been playing good, and Titans haven't been really playing good on defense. And I think they're in for a long day. I'm definitely going to take the Ravens minus 3.5. It's going to be one of my top tier plays today. I'm going to also make a little play on the under. It's just their public is almost over 65% now on the over, and I highly doubt it makes it over today. So Ravens in the under for me as well today, Brad.
The Titans are giving up 27 points per game. This might be what the Ravens and Lamar Jackson need. Only one other team has given up more than 27 points and made the playoffs. Does anyone know who that team is? It's around the 2000 era. Tony, come on.
Around the 2000?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, man. You put me on the spot.
All right. The greatest show on turf, the Rams.
The Ram. There you go. Okay, and now it makes sense. Thanks for – okay. And here about today, Ravens – this was the toughest of the 3 games for me to handicap. I waffled back and forth a couple times, which is something I really don't normally do. But and AJ I was good, insightful analysis of this, because obviously to a handicapper like myself, I look at situations, I look at matchups. And what you see, Lamar Jackson struggled against Tennessee, just has the running game of Tennessee's hurt the Baltimore defense. And then Lamar Jackson playoff performances, not good. Poor. QBR, poor. Execution, poor. Results, poor. And when you see that, you start to wonder if the anything is going to change, or are we going to see the same thing again? Tennessee has pretty much slapped them around. This is basically Lamar Jackson's put up or shut up game. And I eventually decided to back the Ravens here. The line doesn't make sense. Why? Now, we got to understand that home field isn't home field this year in 2020, and it's played out. I think if you look at the total number of games played in the NFL, the home teams won the fewest, maybe in recording, since they've been keeping track of this. So it was definitely played in effect. But still, for me, this is going to come down to Jackson controlling the game, trying to keep them off balance. And the Ravens are going to have to shut down, if not shut down, at least somewhat contain Derrick Henry. If they let him just run all over him for 200 yards, that means Tennessee's going to have a lot of possession, and this game's going to be really close at the end. And that means Jackson will have to make a play. I think today they will make the play. That total is suspiciously high. I didn't really consider the total play here. I actually paid up 125 and bought this to the 3. For some reason, I think it could be really close at the end. So for me, I'm going to align with these 3 guys. I'm playing the Ravens here in this game.
Okay, thanks, Tony. We move to game number 2, the Bears at the Saints. The 8-8 Chicago Bears, as we extended the NFL playoffs here. The 8-8 Bears get in. This over-under was 47.5, currently sitting at 48.5. Saints -8 moved up to -10.5. Here we go. And let's start with you, Tony G. You are hot. You may start, please.
Sure. Saints, 10-point. And the Saints defense got better toward the end of the season, okay, and that helped them. I'm a little skeptical of the Saints covering this number. They're more prone to play it close to the vest. and just make sure they get the win. So if it gets down to situated, their coach is not ultra aggressive as much as he has the persona of being ultra aggressive. He really isn't. He'll make the more conservative calls, kick the field goals, punt when needed, those type of decisions. And then here with the Bears, their offense has gotten a bit better. We'll see how Trubisky does it's going to be interesting. That front will get to him quick. Can he get rid of the ball quick, precisely, and just keep moving the chains? We'll see. But I think at the end of the game probably is when the Bears will cover this. I think the Saints will win, but I do like the Bears with a 10 points. So that's my play. Chicago plus 10 in this game is my play.
It's a lot of points to be given up at home. You're right. Not really a home field advantage here in COVID-19. But the Chicago Bears have only beaten one winning team this season, and that's the Buccaneers in Week 5. Eddie J, does any of these nuggets change your opinion?
I was stuck between either taking the Bears plus 10 or the under in the game, and I thought it hard and true. And although the Bears played them in overtime, played them a good game, it still is tough to win in that Superdome, and I just don't know if they're going to match the Saints for points. I think the Bears D will give a valiant effort. They'll slow the Saints down a bit, and the Saints D is, pretty solid themselves. So they'll neutralize Trubisky when he's scrambling out the pocket and some of their running game with Montgomery and Cordell Patterson. So I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I see like 28-17-ish, 27-17. So I think it stays under the number. So I went with that as a 4-unit play. But as far as the 10, I agree with Tony. I think the Bears, lose the game, but they stay within the number here. It's just pretty big high number for two teams that went to overtime last time they played. And Trubisky is peaking, even though it is Trubisky, but he is playing probably his best ball of his career right now.
Chumly, Eddie J thinks that the Bears are going to score at least 17 points. What do you think?
Well, I hate to go against anybody on the show, but this is going to be my top play of the day, the over of 47. The Bears are playing to save Nagy's job somewhat. If they get blown out, there's rumors going around that he'll be gone, and they're going to open up the playbook a little more than they have. And along with that, the Bears defense really hasn't played that great. They honestly didn't stop the Packers last week, even though that was Rodgers. It's going to be more of the same today. I'm going to back the Bears plus 10, but my top rated play, I'm like 10-0 on the show, that these totals, they normally don't lose. So it's going to be like 31-24 final. It's going to be a high-scoring, good game, but I'm going to play this game to the over as my best bet today.
All right, I like what you said. This is what I want to see. I want to see Nagy open up this offense. I'm sick of the dink and dunk with Trubisky. Let's see what he can do. And if Matt Nagy's really playing for his job and that quarterback, Mitchell Trubisky, is playing for his job, whether he's going to get another year in Chicago or somewhere else, let's see them move the ball down the field. They have nothing to lose, right, Tony?
I agree. I mean, I concur as far as they need to win. It's a playoff game. What do you have to lose? You got in the playoffs at 8-8. You strategically, sure, but we'll see how they react once the game starts. Sometimes you go in with wanting to fight, like Michael Spinks against Mike Tyson, but as soon as he hits you in the gut with a hard shot, all of a sudden you don't want to fight anymore. We'll see if that's the case. I don't think it will be, and I would love to see Chicago aggressively attack and see what happens. Both defenses have scored several times this year, so I like that. I like even the thought of being a super aggressive game, because a lot of times you don't get that in the playoffs. So if what I'm hearing is true, then I'm expecting to see a good game between these two today.
Thank you for watching Bettor Center live on bettorcenter.com, on YouTube at Louis Diamond, and also Facebook. We have 3 sports handicappers because 1 left. 4 minus 1 equals 3. That guy needs to charge his computer. That's Louis Bag of Diamonds, the executive producer, but he's still watching and he's here in spirit. But don't worry, we have 3 other professionals here to make us a little bit money, help us, guide us, and entertain us. That's what we do right here at Bettor Center Live. We have game number 3. We're not going to forget about that. Our last game, this is the night game. The Browns at the Steelers. Browns minus their head coach, Kevin Stefanski. That's kind of a little odd with the over-under at 46.5. Now it's currently at 47.5. Steelers were -4. It went up to just -5 here. All right, we're going to start with Chumly. How much does not having your head coach and your best offensive lineman, how much is that going to hurt your betting strategy in this game?
The losing offensive lineman is going to be bigger than the coach. Actually, Alex Van Pelt was a Packers coach for a long time, who Rodgers loved. He's actually, I like the fact that he's going to be calling the plays for him today. But as far as the line goes, the public is really hammering Pittsburgh, and I can't really. I'm going to stay off of this game. I know this Tony has a big play on that, and I'm out of respect to him. I'm gonna let him give you guys that winner, but I can't really decide on it. Either way, if I had to, I would lean the Browns, the Browns, but I don't really trust them either. So I'm not going to make anything on this play. I'm staying away.
All right, you Packer fan, you're going to jump out of this game. That's fine because the Pittsburgh Steelers have owned the Cleveland Browns 35-7-1 since 2000. Pure domination. And the Browns have not won a playoff game since 1994. But, of course, they were the Baltimore Ravens for a while before they came back. Eddie J, help us, please.
Well, I'm here for you because this is my game of the day. And, you talk about you want to be entertained. I'm going to entertain you. I'm going to go outside the grid of handicapping and give you some different reasons why this is the play of the day. First of all, the last time the Browns made the playoffs was against the Steelers, the old Kelly Holcomb, Tommy Maddox shootout. You remember that game in the snow? That was pretty cool. Yeah. Now, let's get to some conspiracy theories here. So let's talk propaganda games. So first of all, what do we hear? Alex Smith is out. Tyler Heineke's going to start. Who's he? They covered. Jared Goff is out. John Wolford's going to have to start. They won straight up. So this is the biggest propaganda of the week, like we talk about where Vegas is trying to get you on Tennessee. Well, as soon as Monday hit, Kevin Stefanski's out. 3 coaches are out. The facility's closed. 6 players are out. They're feeding you this crap, and everyone's buying it. Give me Pittsburgh. Give me all the coaches out. Look, that's just one avenue. Second avenue is we got the money line parlay aspect. The biggest bulk of change, the liability Vegas is going to take on this week is big money line favorites. Now, Seattle, that helped the books out, but they're the 3-point guy. People probably didn't like that game, but Buffalo, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, they're in everyone's money line parlays and teasers. There's got to be an upset. There's going to be an upset. Is it going to be the Bears or the Browns? It's not going to be the Bears. It's going to be the Browns. So that's avenue 2. Those are my conspiracy avenues. Let's go football now. Pittsburgh has not looked good the last 6 weeks. The Colts game, they got a big play, a couple turnovers to come back in that game, but it was sloppy. It wasn't good. They didn't look good against Buffalo. They didn't look good against Washington. Big Ben's hardly throwing the ball to any of his top receivers. He's dinking and dunking. The running game's ineffective. They lost, the guy Devin Bush. They're not as strong defensively. They're at home. It's tough to win at Heinz Field, but this is a rivalry. You say Pittsburgh's owned it, and they have, but they're building Cleveland's brand like they're building Buffalo's brand. And Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, they're going to pound that rock. Baker's going to make enough plays. Browns win straight up. This is my play of the day for those 3 different avenue of reasons. +6, bank on it all day, baby.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Tony G, do you agree, disagree, or a little bit of both about the conspiracy and about the Browns winning straight up at Pittsburgh, Heinz Field?
Hey, I'm just going to tell you what, that was enthralling, captivating, and quite entertaining. But right off the top here, I'm going to say this is going to be my bookie buster selection for Sunday NFL. Looking to bounce back from yesterday's loss with Seattle. I took it in the poop shoot with that one, and that dropped me to 20 wins and 9 losses. So about 69% now with the bookie busters. Looking to push it back over 70 with this one. Great, a lot of things going on. Like we said, Steelers literally own this team in and out. They almost beat them with their backup 24-22. Not too long ago, you got that aspect. Then you got the aspect of Cleveland. Baker Mayfield, is this finally his time? Have those commercials where he's carrying the groceries, fumbling for his keys. Is that going to help him get over the hump and win a playoff game? Getting there is one thing. That's the question you must ask. Will Cleveland be satisfied simply getting to the playoffs? This team has struggled with the 5-11, 5-11, 5-11, 6-10. 6-10 is like a winning season for this franchise the last 2 decades. And finally now they're in the playoffs. Will they just collapse with relief that they're there, or will they use this as a catapult to make the next step right away against a team that has dominated them? A lot to think about with this game. And I'm hoping at least we have for a good, entertaining game. If you want to know what I'm playing, the Bookie Busters up at bettorcenter.com, guys. And this is a great, entertaining segment about this game. And I do like to hear those conspiracy theories with the money gambling, because I like to know what other people think. I'm a psychological kind of guy. I like to feel what people, read and react what people think. So, and I did like his angles there. It makes a lot of sense. So, if you want to know if I agree with Eddie, head over to Bettor Center and pick up this play.
All right, guys, before we hit most interesting play of the day, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a black shirt, black tie, that is to mourn the great Tommy Lasorda, who passed away the other day at 93 years of age. We're going to head to the most interesting play of the day. Tony G, come on. Right there, most interesting play of the day. We go in basketball?
Yeah, let's just do the basketballs. I know these guys have plenty of basketball too. I'll try to be brief. Lost my best bet yesterday with West Virginia. Got hit with a 3-pointer at the buzzer after just missing the front end of a 1-and-1. That's one of those, it makes you want to spit out of your mouth when it happens. So we're going to bounce back today with Iowa, 9.5. I love that single-digit spread here. They're going to look to get back on Minnesota, who they just lost to. I've been doing really well with the Big Ten. Just had Iowa, I think, 4 days ago as a best bet play. Love the offense of this team. Expect Iowa to come in ready to shoot the lights out against a team that just beat them not too long ago, Iowa. And then Bradley and Wichita State's the rest of my action. But take Iowa for sure in college basketball today.
All right, thank you, Tony G. We move on to Chumly. Your most interesting play of the day is who?
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to change it because I'm going to give you, though, my best bet is Iowa. I'm a Big Ten guy. They lost the first game to Minnesota at the end. Iowa's got a good chance to make it to the finals. There's no way Minnesota keeps this within 9.5 today. So I agree with Tony 100% on that. So Iowa back that. And then I'm going to take Winthrop, and then I want to take Maryland tonight plus 10. But I'm going to give you one of my best friends I have in my group. His NBA plays are 10-4, his max plays, and I said I'd give him a little love on the show today. So Davey Dime Soda is a kid you're going to hear about in the future. He's only 30, but I've been working with him for years on capping. But he's the master at the NBA, and he said take the Clippers today. So I'm going to go with my best bet in college basketball is Iowa, and then for my friend, take the Clippers today minus 11.
Okay, fair enough. Eddie J, drum roll, please. The best Philly cheesesteak is Geno's or Pat's?
Geno's, but Tony Luke's is a little secret that a lot of us are starting to creep to the top. We sneak in some Tony Luke's at the game and before the game. So Tony Luke's is pretty good, but out of the main two, I go with Geno's,
All right, your most interesting play is?
Yeah, as far as some hoops, real quick, just wanted to reply to Tony. As entertaining as my tidbit was on the Browns, I think yours was just as good when you said they almost beat it with the subs 24-22. That was pretty good. But besides that, college hoops, just want to let you know, Eddie J Sports on Twitter. I'm giving out a free month, free trial. You can check out all my picks. They're all posted before games. You get them all for free for the whole month. So you get to see what we do here at Bettor Center and see what I do, Eddie J. Also, there's my email below. So far in the 2021 campaign, 50 winners, 27 losses, 65% plus 76 units. I rate my plays 3, 4, and 5 stars on the plays. And college hoops were 30 and 16. So let's get to college hoops. I got 3. Yesterday we went 1-1. The UNLV overhit and Rutgers lost, but we got 3 here for you. UMBC taking on New Hampshire. We're going to go UMBC. They're laying 2 points. We're going to take the money line at -125 there, a small money line. UMBC, Maryland, Baltimore County. If you remember, that's the team that beat Virginia, the 16 that beat the 1 a couple years ago. They come in at 8-2. They're playing New Hampshire's 4-4. They just played 2 days ago in the college doubleheader, and UMBC took care of business 69-54 at New Hampshire. They just beat them by 15. It's a replay of that game. Both teams give up 64.6 points to be exact, but UMBC scores 5 points more per game. So we're going UMBC money line. 2 others I got, as they were mentioned in the Big Ten, the Iowa game. Iowa's scoring 92 a game. Minnesota's scoring 80 a game. Both defenses are suspect, giving up about 74-75 a game. It's a high total, but you'll watch. It'll be a cruiser winner, over 163 between them two. It'll be, you think it's high, but it'll fly. That's the tip. You think it's high, but it's going to fly. So that's the second one. And the third pick we're going to ride with today is Notre Dame. Notre Dame +7 we're going with. Virginia Tech, off to a decent start, upset Villanova in overtime this year. Decent record. The Irish are 3-6, but the Irish have played everybody. Michigan State, Duke, North Carolina. Very tough schedule. Purdue and Virginia Tech, all their games, even their wins against top teams are, 1 to 5 point wins. So I think they're not as hungry for this. Notre Dame at 3-6. Mike Bray, a top-notch coach. I think they win straight up in this game. Take the +7. It's a game they need to win tonight, and I think you'll be cool with the +7.
All right, man. Thank you, Eddie J. And, of course, our Red Rifle, Chumly, Louis Diamond. Even though your computer crapped out, we want to thank you, and Mr. Eugene Stewart from Spotlight Film Productions. This was Bettor Center Live on bettorcenter.com, YouTube at Louis Diamond, and Facebook. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Wild Card, the last half of the Wild Card weekend. Then we move to the divisional rounds of the NFL playoffs. We heard a lot about college basketball and our most interesting play of the day. It was a wonderful show. My name is Brad Stein. You have a wonderful, beautiful, lovely day, and we'll catch you probably tomorrow right here on bettorcenter.com.